Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more reading the My Hero Academia manga. This is chapter 407, just released. Well, I said just released. I'm it's 7:30 in the morning right now. Um, and I woke up and I just like looking at my phone. I had like all these ats and like comments like, "Hey, bro, the chapter's out. Like, what are you doing?" Like, I'm like sleeping. I don't know. So I was like, let me have a chance to put on my morning face, so to speak, and then drag myself out of bed. But here we are. I guess it came out 6 hours ago, so that would have been like 1:30, 2 a.m. my time. So sorry, I had no idea it was gonna come out at that time. That's my bad. Um, but I am very excited for this chapter. I have been hinted at all week that this is a really good chapter from numerous people. And I don't know anything. The only thing I know is it's a short chapter. Um, I don't know how many chapters, but I know it's less than like a normal chapter. But that conflicts with the fact that it's like a really good chapter. Because usually, like, here's my thing. Like, usually, very rarely is a short chapter everyone being like, "Oh my god, it's a really good chapter. It's a really good chapter." So I'll be okay. All right, if everyone's telling me it's a good chapter, it's a good chapter. But yeah, I don't know any details. This one's titled Paranormal Orphan. That could be anything. So let's see. Where my prediction? I pulled up my tweet. My predictions for this chapter. All for one flashback. I was saying I was pounding the table for All for One flashback like 10 or so chapters ago when All Might was fighting him. Because when it showed him like glowing, I was like, oh shit, is it about to be like a flashback to show how he's glowing? No, we didn't get that. But it kind of feels like the time now, especially with the fact that he's mad about what's the second user's name? Kudo? He's mad about him, and I feel like now would be a good time. We'll see. And then number 2, I said nothing. Drawing a blank should be fun. And apparently it is fun. So, yeah, let's dive on in. Thanks for being patient with me. Sorry that it took so long to get this recording out. Again, it's 7:30 in the morning, though. So, all right. Again, this is tcbscans.com. That's where I read these. And let's begin. This prostitute had been ill for around a year. Hard warts started growing from her left arm before quirks were a thing. Oh my god. Is this it? Oh my god, actually I was right. I was right for once. I think this is going to be an origin story. Before quirks were a thing, this prostitute had been ill for around a year. Wow. Chapter 407, Paranormal Orphan. Or maybe it isn't them. Maybe it isn't All for One in Yoichi's origin. Paranormal Orphan. That's singular. For 8 months, she didn't realize she was pregnant, and not only because she was homeless. And it's showing a close up of her arm. It's got like it's that weird like wart that she said she had. Oh no! Oh, this is totally them. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Oh fuck yeah! Dude, we're getting an All for One and Yoichi origin. Yes! You guys don't know how long I've been wanting this. Okay. I know, man, I feel like a lot of people won't like this chapter because most people don't care for All for One and Yoichi. Nah, dude. Like, I'm a big All for One fan. And Yoichi too. Yoichi's cool. I don't really know much about Yoichi, but maybe. Okay. Alright. Wake up. Woo! We got some origin story today, baby. This prostitute had been ill for around a year, so I'm just establishing this again. Hard warts started growing from her left arm, and we see this woman again. She can tell she's homeless. She's sitting on some cardboard. This is before quirks were a thing. So this could have been, in theory, like 150 to 200 years ago, because we know All for One's old. We know All for One's at least like 150 or so. because he could, at a certain point he was able to double the span of his life, but probably not until he was like 30. So yeah, 150 to 200 years ago, before quirks were a thing. For 8 months, she didn't realize she was pregnant, and not only because she was homeless, she couldn't even remember their conception. Before she knew it, those things nested inside her womb and started draining her life force. Yo. Okay, so the reason that I immediately was like, yeah, this is an origin. So we have two babies, two fetuses, and one's, I don't know if he's gigantic or if it's like a regular baby, and Yoichi's just that small. But you see one regular or / giant baby, and then you have a little small weak baby, and we know Yoichi was born weak and frail. We've known that for a long time. Yeah, this is, oh my gosh, dude, I'm so happy. Like, you guys, no wonder everyone is telling me that I would like this chapter. I think everyone knows that I've been wanting this. This is good. After giving birth to the twins by the river, she died immediately. Damn, that's kind of sad. She like died alone on the side of this river. But for some mysterious reason, all the warts were gone from her arm as a consequence. Yo, we can see a little baby all for one. He got the little whole hand. Yo. The babies only had each other. When rats came and tried to eat the corpse and the newborns, we see this, some very detailed rats. The two of them got washed away by the swollen river. Yeah, I was going to mention this river the next two. It's raining out, so it looks like a drainage kind of river, and it's roaring right now. 1 year later, as we're getting a shot of like the globe, or part of the globe, like all the cities at night and stuff. 1 year later, the glowing baby was the first of many meta abilities being documented around the world. Okay, so we have confirmation that All for One is not the glowing baby, basically. I still stand by that. Maybe they'll mention it. If there's so many things they could show if we're getting an All for One like origin. Like, I still stand by he stole the glowing quirk as sort of a trophy of sorts. Like, he just wanted to have it for whatever reason. They have to show it, right? Because the All for One's glowing in the freaking part of the manga we're at. So, the glowing baby was the first of many meta abilities being documented around the world. The abilities didn't come exclusively at birth. Some would also occur in pubescent and prepubescent stages. And we're getting a redo of the first chapter. Well, not a redo, but it's the scene where like I say famous. I don't know how many people actually remember this. When it shows the globe and it shows like, oh, quirk started appearing as Deku's narration. And it's the girl who has like the ice arms. Which wouldn't that be cool if that was like Ray's ancestor or something? I don't know, I think that'd be cool. And then we get the guy with glasses who's flipping pages in the book with his psychic powers. And we have another guy. I don't know if he's like turning into a flame monster or something, but maybe that's Endeavor's ancestor. I don't know. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, it looks like he redid that, which is cool. It looks really good. Oh, later on, I want to like, I don't know if I'll do this in the reaction. I want to go back and like look at this compared to his old art, just to see how much he's like changed. That'd be cool. A group decided to study this mysterious disease, and we're seeing strands of DNA in the background. They announced that these meta abilities came from a new gene that wasn't human. This gene, dude, oh my god. We're getting like lore of like beginning of quirks. This is so cool. I live for this shit. Yes, lore building, world building, yes. The fact it's like it's kind of showing All for One and stuff. Oh, that's good. This gene becoming classified as from another species was an ill-thought announcement. It was way too early, and it would rapidly descend society into chaos. Damn, dude, imagine the world, like, as that's slowly starting. You think it's, like, some sort of, like, zombie apocalypse, but not quite, because there's still, people still act like normal. They just have powers. But yeah, like, they allude to this in the manga and the anime. It's like, there was a dark period of human history. Like, they kind of, like, washed it away, and they don't teach it in school, I guess, or something. But, like, alright, we're getting, a shot of a city at night. There's flame in the background. I don't know if these are riots or what, but like the streets are tattered. There's broken cars, glass. It's just some shit's been going on. I assume this is like kind of the rioting phase of like when quirk started to become more common. We're getting some. I don't know if you. What are these, like rescue workers, or are they like firemen? They're I like the designs. It's kind of cool. It's like old school, like imagine like World War II-esque kind of era. Like they have like the big round helmets and they have like kind of the baggy clothes. There's a gathering of some meta freaks near the industrial complex. Must be the guys who assaulted the protest group, replies one of them. We should attack before they rise to action. Oh, no. Oh, these are not, well, I guess they could be police, but these are like, there's a lot of analogies you can make here, and I'm not going to say specific names, but they're like an anti, like, quirk group. And it looks like a lot of them have, like, X's on their head. Okay, so these are, okay, interesting. So, wow, Horikoshi's really going in on this. This is like, again, there's a lot of analogies you can, like, draw to this, but yeah, this is these are bad people who are probably scared. Like it's different. Like in real life, okay, I'm not sorry, I don't want to dwell on this too long, but in real life, there's groups who are, you know, racist or anti-Semitic or whatever, and historically have done really bad things. But in this case, I'm not defending their actions for like assaulting people with quirks. But it is probably a little bit scary to be like a normal person and then having someone who could like freeze you to death or, you know, lift you up 1,000 feet in the air with their mind. You know, it's a little more understandable, but like still no. You shouldn't have like hunting groups and whatnot. We should we should attack them before they rise to action. They get startled. Huh? This is one of them as a figure is approaching them. Yo, holy shit. Duh. Chills. What the fuck? All for one. That's totally all for one. Yo. He just emerges from the shadows wearing this like cloak. Like he's like in his eyes. Yo. Oh god. Oh my god. That's so good. Yes. By the way, I totally expect these guys to get destroyed here. Because he looks... All for one looks... Okay, so he steps out of the shadows. He's wearing this, like, cloak that's too long for him. He's, like, dragging it. That image alone is cool, but, like, right below, you just get him open his eyes, like, more and look. Like, he turns his head. And he looks like... Why do I even describe it? He looks so demented. Like, and it just, like... Oh, you see evil piercing from his eyes. Make this page a little bit bigger. There we go. A paranormal orphan, says one of the people. Poor boy. We shouldn't get too close. Those orphans are probably carriers. Oh, okay, so it looks like they're not even going to attack him. Okay, so, Okay, so they're only going after protest groups. They're not, like, just going around killing anyone that's, like, a carrier. That's crazy. They think it's like I guess it is kind of a disease, because that's what happened to the mom, right? She got like warts and stuff appearing on her. She didn't remember where she like... Oh, it's so fascinating. There's still, even though they're showing it, there's still mystery to it. That's so like, Horikoshi, the world and the lore you made. It just makes people ask questions. Love it. Yeah, so they don't touch him, just like they're walking away, and he looks over at him with that like look that I said he gave him. Like what kind of sound is that? Huh? What's that sound? Sound, says one of them. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! Oh, Horikoshi! Let this man make a horror manga, please! Holy shit! Oh, that's so cool! Oh my god. Okay, so what I'm seeing... Oh my god, that's so sick. Alright, so here... Like, I don't even know, like, what kind of sound effect that is. And no wonder that guy looked around like, what's that sound? And the other guy's like, sound. And like a domino, or like a shish kebab, I should say. You got three of the guys who were wearing the helmets. The one in the back looks full on at all for one. He just gets a spike right through his head, exiting out the back of his head. You see like brains flying out. The guy in the middle, looking kind of like toward us, the spike goes through his head, out his head that way, and then you see this eye like bulging. Man, I'm not gonna say I love like violence and murder, but like, man, when it's done effectively, like this jaw-dropping moment. Speaking of jaw-dropping, the last guy, he's about to say what, and then like the spike is going through his jaw like halfway, and then you look down and you see All For One. Well, at this point, he looks like he has a cape on, kind of. He's sort of like, I don't know how you describe this. He looks like he almost like jumped into the group of these guys with the X helmets, and then midair just sort of ruptured a bunch of these nail spikes out of his body, and it just starts stabbing the group of people. Like it's going through their chests, going through their heads, cutting off their hands. Like he straight up just murdered this entire group of people. By the way, All For One, his age, he's probably like 4 or 5. Like he's a little kid. He's a little kid. And he just jumped in this group and killed all these people. Oh my god. No wonder people were right. They were like, "Mike, you're gonna love this chapter. You're gonna love this chapter." And I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I'm down. What could it be? Mother effing All For One origin / like kind of quirk lore story. Yes. Mwah. I eat that up. I love that. That is like, don't get me wrong. I love the whole fighting and stuff with All Might versus All For One, Deku for Shigaraki. All of it's great. Give me some Sero eventually, please. But this stuff, I feel like they've been building up. Horikoshi has been building up to like eventually showing this origin stuff for so long. I'll save that for later. Let me just keep going here. And you get a look of All For One, who like half of his face is covered by a spike, and these eyes, dude. He looks so creepy. I love it. That's the meta ability he stole from his mother. Whoa! What? He was born an arrogant baby. He believed that the world should belong to him. What the fuck? Dude, no matter how hard they cried or screamed, those who couldn't give him anything were nothing more than a nuisance. Oh my god! Yo! First of all, there's so much to take away from this. So the mom died, and you have little baby, oh my god, sorry, I'm like, baby Yoichi, baby All For One. Bro, you see All For One. First of all, he's like holding on to Yoichi, dragging him with him as he climbs onto the dead mom, sinks his teeth into her, steals her quirk, which I didn't know you could steal quirk from a dead person. That's new. No matter how hard. And then he starts like, bro, like, by the way, I don't think he's biting on just anywhere. I think he's like biting on to like her chest area. That's got to be intentional because baby's instinct, you know. Um, dude, and he looks the look he gives. You thought the him murdering the people, like, that look was creepy, bro. This page or pages, I should say. It goes one into the other. I need to read this narration again. He was born an arrogant baby. He believed that the world should belong to him. No matter how hard they cried or screamed, those who couldn't give him anything were nothing more than a nuisance. Horikoshi literally said, straight out the womb, this guy was a little maniacal gremlin. A little POS. He was evil, baby. He was evil, baby, plural. That's hardcore. Wow. And by the way, he's a chunky baby. Again, either he was chunky or Yoichi was that small. Yoichi does look very small here. But he All For One's like 4 or 5 times his size. Like, this look, though, with him sinking his teeth into his mom's dead body. So the mom's... Oh, no. That's not just teeth. I think the quirk that she got from him... I mean, obviously it was like the nails. But he's using that as to, like, sharpen his teeth and, like, claw onto the body and, like, just... Gosh, that's so crazy. That is hardcore, man. I can't wait to see all the people who were like always talking shit. They're always like, oh, it's power of friendship. My Hero Academia is so childish. Bro. Literally, we have murders with impalement and spikes through heads and body parts and cutting off limbs, straight into a evil baby stealing the quirk from his own dead mom and, like, biting into her. Crazy. Anyway, sorry, that shocked me. We're moving on. Well, there's a lot to talk about this chapter. Moving on, we have All For One, who at this point is that same age as we saw him when he killed the people, roughly. And he's out here stealing quirks, killing people. Okay, I'll describe what's happening. He's on the side of a street. I don't know if he's like a homeless guy or like who he's fighting here, but there's a guy hanging from a wall who's got two steel girders, smacking him right in the face, pinning him into this hole in the wall. You have other people lying on the ground, either dead or unconscious, probably dead, knowing All For One. And you have this guy who's leaning up against a wall, who's kind of like got a weird like glowing to him a little bit, like around his head. I don't know if All For One just stole his quirk, if that's what just happened, but can you imagine, like, baby All For One or kid All For One probably just thinks the world is his oyster. You have all these quirks starting to appear, and he has this freaking ability to steal them. He's probably like walking down the shopping mall. He's like, oh, I'll take that. That looks deal. I mean, I don't know. Oh, cool, 2 for 1 deal. Yum. Do. You know, just like. But, like, in reality, it's, like, much darker because he's killing these people and stealing their powers. So he's got this foot on this guy. A can hits him. He gives a side look, like, the fuck? Who just threw that shit? Oh, it's Baby Yoichi. Stop, ouchie. He calls him ouchie? Oh my god, wait. Are we gonna get an All For One name reveal on this? Also, are we gonna find out like how Yoichi got his name? Is he gonna say like stuff like that? Ah, man, there's so many possibilities. I love stuff like this. Okay, stop, ouchie. He calls him ouchie, which is appropriate, honestly. Oh my god, he looks so sad. Oh, he looks. Oh, little baby Yoichi, he says stop, and he's just like got a few missing teeth. He looks like, oh, he looks so sad. That's, oh, Horikoshi, you're too good. You're too good. Most of the nutrients from their mom went straight to the older one, causing the younger brother to grow up small and weak. Yep. All for One walks over, literally punts him. Just kicks him right in the face. Wow. He's still like 4 times his size. Dude, look at the little demon lord strutting around with this like robe on. Stealing quirks, kicking his brother. He was a little twerp. Oh my god. Oh, dude, there's a I you know what? I'm really tempted to pull this up now. I have it bookmarked. There's a if anyone hasn't read Vigilantes, there's a really good, I have it bookmarked. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. It's in my folder here. Vigilantes bookmarks. Okay. I know I'm sounding like sidetracked here, but I don't know if I should read this now or wait a little bit. I have it pulled up. If you guys want to wait a moment, I kind of want to keep reading here though. But this is a very fascinating topic here. Okay. So he kicks him. He didn't have anything to offer, but he was also one of the boy's possessions. That's why he decided to keep him by his side. Oh wow, interesting. Because it literally started by saying, "All for one. If you couldn't offer him anything, nothing of providing for him, you're useless. You're gone." But he was also, but since he thought of him as belonging to him, he liked it, like keeping him around. That's why he decided to keep him by his side. Despite tumultuous circumstances, the glowing baby's activism has resonated with the public. The glowing baby's activism? His peace-seeking is making waves. Support grows daily. What? Whoa, is the glowing baby like that world's Gandhi or something? Again, lore. The glowing baby grew up to be a peace-seeking advocate with huge waves of support. Bro, no wonder he got the power. No, I was totally right. I was totally right. He stole it because it was a trophy and something he just wanted to attain. The fact they're still mentioning him and he's still relevant, I bet you it's gonna like show that. We see the two in a room full of like books, and I bet this is their hideout. What are you reading there without telling me? Oh God, bro, that's a good sentence for a lot of reasons. What are you reading there without telling me? Like he's not even. He was literally like a prisoner. Like he's like you can't even like you can't even read a book without asking permission. Since I'm still learning to read, I'm staying away from books, says little kid Yoichi. And by the way, All for One's landing in the corner from like flying. He flew in from somewhere. Oh my God. Yes, I love this stuff. Oh God, this is so good. I'm sorry. Like I just love seeing these two kids and seeing the world before all the characters we knew. Yes, yes, lore. Okay. But these comic books are amazing. Yeah, we're good. Bro, it's all coming together. These comic books are amazing. They tell a story through drawings. I can feel the author's wishes filling the pages. And is this the scene where we're going to get them like reading the comic together and like finding out like, oh, the villains and heroes? Oh, dude, bro, this is like... I'm sorry I'm freaking out, but like you got to understand, this is literally the origin of what My Hero Academia is. Like, obviously, there's more things to My Hero Academia, like quirks, what it means to be a hero and stuff. But, like, this was the stuff that set in motion the core elements of the plot of the story, which is All for One and a struggle to attain one for all, and like that. Just one day, I'd love to be like him, a hero. As All for One kind of looks over and he sits down next to him. He still had hope for his older brother, says the narrator. Because deep inside, he wanted to believe. in the kindness of that hand born from a faint memory. Oh, is it drawing attention to the fact that he grabbed his, like, arm when he's sucking the life force out of his mother? By the way, that's what they're showing here. They're showing the All for One baby, a close-up of him latched onto his mom. And he's got the big, grubby man baby hand. I'm telling you, he was a thick baby. Kind of pulling his hand toward him. Because deep inside, he wanted to believe in the kindness of that hand born from a faint baby. So that's what he thinks that there's some inkling of goodness in his brother. 3 years later. 3 years later? They look older than 3 years later. At least Yoichi does. They look like... Yoichi looks like he's like 6 right there. And then he looks like he's like 12 or so. It looks like more than 3 years, but that's fine. Did you know that glowing baby guy has over 10 million sympathizers? Brother, says Yoichi. How weird. He may be the first officially documented case. But 2 weeks prior to his birth in India... No, 2 weeks prior to his birth in India, 50 babies were born with meta abilities. Your body, says Yoichi, he doesn't have the right to mobilize so many people. That's why I killed him and stole his meta ability. Pat myself on the back. I'm not saying I'm the only one that called that, but like, but people were like, "Oh, he's the glowing baby." I'm like, I was always kind of like, no, I'm pretty sure. Like, what I would think would be cooler is if he stole it at a certain point as like some sort of trophy or whatever personal vendetta he had, and they straight up just said it. We have this rant about him talking about the glowing. Did you know that glowing baby guy has over 10 million sympathizers? So he was the first officially documented case, but he's saying that 2 weeks prior to his birth. So the glowing baby, canonically, is not the first quirk to appear. We already knew that with All for One came before the baby by, what was it? I'm not going to go back and look at it right now. But he doesn't have the right to mobilize so many people. Bro, and then, oh my god, All for One comes flying in right here. I'm surprised. I'll be honest. I'm surprised they're still in like... Oh, wait, no. I was going to say I'm surprised they're still in tatters, but I bet you All for One had to fight a lot of his like supporters who are like probably guarding him. He's got some blood on him, so that's pretty much what happened. So he stole the glowing baby's quirk. That's so hardcore. All for One is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. I know people hate him. I enjoy so much about what he brings to the story. Why, says Yoichi. It's simple. I did what the comics showed me. One for all, and all for one. What a beautiful concept. The heroes fight alone while hiding their secret identity, while the villain reigns supreme through fear. Did they get that? Did they actually get the name from like the... Did they read the comic for like the Musketeers, Three Musketeers? I don't know if there's a comic for it, but like one all for one and one for all. Or is it like more of like a base root idea they read from the comics? I don't know. I want a world where everyone exists only for my sake, just like you do. Oh my god, now I have a dream too. Yo. The dialogue from All for One. I want a world where everyone exists only for my sake. Just like you. Now I have a dream too. The look on his face right here, by the way. He is so full of himself. God, he's so entertaining. You know, if I had to think about it, like, I've always liked All for One. But this final arc really has just been excellent for him. And, You know, if I had to like if I had to really think about it, he's got to be close to my like favorite characters. If I'm being real here. By the way, don't forget, I still want to share the panel from Vigilantes. A couple panels. It's very fascinating, and I think it actually ties into this a lot. I think we're almost done with this chapter. Says that line. Wait, why are you running away? And it's showing like a black background, so this might be flashback. Even though I gave you power. Oh shit! It's showing when it's Kudo, right? That's his name. Sorry, we just learned his name. I'm already forgetting it. Who are you? Get away from him. He's mine. Look at me. And we see like him pulling Yoichi ahead of him, like taking him away from wherever they're locked up. If you stop being mine, then that hand. ... There's a break next week. 407 to end. Okay, fascinating. So, he straight up... That hand. He straight up, like, cut off the hand of his own brother. So people have been speculating this for a while. I never really thought about it. But I guess, yeah, All For One's probably responsible for Yoshi's death. That's why people were saying, like, he was crying in that one scene where he's, like, holding him up. People were speculating that, like, he's crying because he found out, like, Yoichi died and he's, like, pissed and shit. Or whatever. Maybe he's blaming Kudo for it. Then, so I think we're still gonna get more of a flashback, which is great. I would love another chapter of this. They said this chapter was short. It didn't feel short. I'm gonna count how many pages real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh. This was 13 pages? This did not feel like 13 pages. This felt like a full-length, like 15, 16 page chapter. I guess 13 is not that much lower if you think about it, like 2-3 pages lower. But this was awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys are right. I would like this chapter, and it was amazing. Yes. Okay, so it looks like next chapter we're going to get a continuation. There's a break next week. Kind of show, like... I hope next it shows sort of... I've been saying this for a while. I don't understand how, like, Yoichi would have figured out... Like, so we know All For One, like, it even says right here, wait, why are you running away? I just gave you power. He gave him Stockpile, which fused with the ability to pass down quirks, which created One For All, as we know it. The thing, what we know about One For All, you have to pass it on, and there's two things that have to go with it. You can force it on by forcing it, or like a mutual transaction. All For One says you can give it by force or whatever. But you have to ingest some DNA of the person while they're intending to give it to you. So I'm very curious how, like, Koichi would know, not Koichi, I keep saying Koichi, Yoichi would know that he can pass it on and then know the method to pass it on. Like, if it was by accident, that goes against the rule of, like, has to be intentional. I don't know. But anyway, I want to share, before you guys go, I want to share this panel from, there's 3 pages here. I'm glad I have these bookmarked. So it's in Vigilantes. I guess spoilers for Vigilantes. All For One's in Vigilantes a lot, right? And there's a scene where he's talking to Kurogiri about, like, what defines a person with their quirk. Kurogiri, you and I may be what the good little citizens and politicians call villains. But what is a villain, really? The term is far too emotionally charged to simply describe a certain class of criminal, wouldn't you say? If that were all, why not just say quirk criminal and be done with it? Sorry, I have like a sore throat, I guess, this morning. I believe that the concept should be defined by a particular relationship between a person's will and their quirk. When that will and that quirk support each other to create a firm bedrock of resolve, well, those people are called heroes. But when an extreme and violent will stimulates a quirk into running amok, or, on the flip side, when an unruly quirk twists a person's will to its own ends, that disparity creates a dangerous imbalance. Unstable characters like that deviate from their pigeonholes in society and threaten to destroy the entire framework. As such, that sort of logical evil or enemy of society is often shunned and scorned as a villain. Meaning at the core of villainy is that essential imbalance. Going by that definition, what is the next inevitable conclusion? That goes on. But basically the idea is like, does a quirk influence the person to being what they become? Or is it a person who takes advantage of the quirk to fulfill their own desires? And it's fascinating, literally out the womb, that All For One was like, his whole personality was like, give, let me take, like, I want it all. That is very much the quirk of All For One, like being able to steal, like to absorb, to take things. So it brings the question into it, like, is All For One the way he is because his quirk is so innately, it's like a black hole, it just absorbs and takes, it wants? Or was All For One born that way, and the fact he had this power just took advantage of it? It's fascinating. I'm not sure where I fall on that. I have to give that thought. But this chapter was amazing. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Well, sorry for the late reaction, I guess. Didn't anticipate it coming out at that time for me, and I was very tired. So, yeah. The mom was a prostitute. She had, technically, she had a quirk before the babies did. She had so now, wow, anytime you see All For One use the nail power, it's his own mom's power. Wow. I had no idea you could steal a quirk from a dead person. Fascinating. All right, well, I need to marinate on this chapter for a while. This was a really good one. This was really good. This was very satisfying to me, because I feel like throughout the whole story that Horikoshi's made, we see little nuggets of like this origin. You hear about it, they whisper about it, they allude to it, but no, we're finally just in it. We're seeing it. And I think that's so cool. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. I'm going to probably analyze this and post various things on Twitter, like I always do. I was right, baby! Technically, this is the second time I've guessed this for an All For One flashback, but second time's the charm, right? Whatever. Broken clock is right twice a day. That old saying. All right. Until next time, it's been Mighty Gazelle. Hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.